Well, guys, another day, another Moroccan. Yes, another Moroccan linked with a move to Rangers. Seems that Niels Koppen really likes to shop in the Moroccan market. This Moroccan doesn't play in Morocco. He plays in France, where a lot of the Moroccan players have at one time plied their trade or currently do ply their trade. He's a midfield player. I think this is an interesting one. I think there's a bit of a hint here that there could be a formation or shape change from Rangers for this coming season with all these central midfield players being linked. We'll talk a little bit about that shortly on the video. Also got the new top today. Looks, love it. It's a great fit. Really nice. So this new player that has been linked is a Moroccan youth international, tipped to become a full Moroccan international very soon. Again, a name that is not the easiest to pronounce, but we'll have a go. A bit of an unfortunate first name, Usama. Yeah, Usama. Tarine, we're going to go with Tarine, giving that sort of French feel to the end of it. That's the guy's name, Usama Tarine. So what do we know about this young lad? I mean, I was going to make this video last night and then sort of schedule it for today at some point, but I actually went away this morning, watched a few games, watched a few bits and pieces from Le Havre, watched a few bits and pieces from his time at Marseille, a few bits and pieces from his Morocco under-23s. So I watched a little bit of him. Not a massive amount. I'll go away and watch a bit more. If this link firms up a little bit, but he looks a very, very talented player, two-footed, he buys himself time very well on the ball. Reminds me a little bit of Mohamed Diamande in the way that he buys himself that time by, turning and switching feet and opening his body up. Uses the ball exceptionally well, has got a very good eye for a pass, ability to go past the player as well. Like I said, he does remind me of Mohamed Diamande to some extent. What do we know about Usama Tarine? We know that he is just 22 years old. So again, another very young player. He's Moroccan, obviously born in Morocco, over 6 foot. He is a right-footed central midfielder, currently with Le Havre in France, under contract until 2025 with an option for a further year, which will, of course, make the fee that little bit more expensive, I suppose, if we are going to look at bringing him to the club. And it does seem that these Moroccans are very much in vogue at the moment, especially obviously after their excellent performance at the last World Cup. We obviously have signed, or look like we're going to sign very soon, Igman. Druesh was the other player that's linked. That seems to have gone a little bit quiet. Osama Tarine is the new player, valued at around £2.5 million. So not a king's ransom for this young Moroccan talent. What do we know about him in terms of his positional play and where he's played? So again, he is another young developmental prospect. I know that Clement spoke about needing to bring an experience now. I think that will still happen, but I think should these young players prop up or jump up that are going to add to this squad and become part of that trading model, I still think Rangers will move to buy them. So he's played the majority of his games in central midfield, although he can play as a defensive midfielder and to a lesser extent as an attacking midfielder. Last season, he made 28 appearances in the central midfield position, scoring 1 goal and 2 assists for Le Havre. Havre are not a great team, so you've got to kind of couch these statistics in that terms that Le Havre are not a brilliant side. Defensive midfielder, he played there 8 times, and attacking midfielder, he played there twice. Stats by club, he's played for Le Havre 28 times, scored 1 goal, as you can see there. He's also played for Marseille's B team, making 11 appearances for them. He played for Alanyaspor in Turkey for 7 games, scoring with 2 assists. Also has made 3 appearances for Marseille's full team. I don't know if you can hear the helicopter and the Russians are coming. He started his, he came through the Marseille Academy to some extent. I mean, obviously his youth days were spent with the Mohammed VI Academy in Morocco before moving to Marseille. He's represented Morocco at under 17, under 20 and under 23 level, including scoring a very crucial goal for Morocco under 23 in the under 23 Africa Cup of Nations. He's actually scored the winning goal over Egypt in the final that helped the Atlas Lions to a 2-1 victory over Egypt to give Morocco their title and qualify Morocco for the Summer Olympics. Again, I think with Igman, he will be another player that will be heading to the Olympics with Morocco. He played in League 2 last season with with Le Havre as well. So, you know, he has got talent. He has got, you know, a very promising backstory, a very promising set of skills. And I think another player who could well be developed and flipped for a lot of money in the future. But it's very interesting, isn't it, that we seem to be very much looking at this Moroccan market. Now, you know, given the fact that at the club at this moment in time, you know, we look at the central midfield options that are currently there. And, you know, if we sort of take the man, take Sterling as a central midfielder, obviously he can play there, even though there has obviously been, you know, Clement's comments that he sees him more as a as a winger, but I personally don't think that is the case. You know, if you look at the options we've got there at this moment in time in that central midfield area at the club, and the links that we've been made, obviously, to the likes of Kenny McLean as well. I mean, looking at the moment, obviously, Diamande, probably the top midfielder, Connor Barron, very much in talking, I think, to start games, having done so for Aberdeen last season. Dujon Sterling, absolute start. Nicholas Raskin looked good at the end of last season. Kieran Dowell, if he's still at the club, again, he can play in that central midfield role. Tom Lawrence, I know he's more an attacking midfielder, but can play in that midfield options. Cole McKinnon, another one. Bailey Rice, someone I really do hope to see. And there's a lot of options there for Clement. And Clement obviously did speak about the fact that he wanted a whole load of different options for Rangers for the forthcoming season. Now, given what's going on at this moment in time in terms of, you know, the club and players possibly on the way out, possibly on the way in, you know, talk of Cantwell leaving, talk of Hadji leaving, you know, talk obviously of Lawrence possibly leaving, and talk of buying all these central midfield players, I could see Rangers making a change to a 4-3-3 formation rather than playing the 4-2-3-1 formation. You know, that would be the case. You know, you'd look at Barron, Diamande, and Raskin maybe in that middle, or Diamande, Barron, and Tarjaline if he was to sign, or, you know, Sterling, Raskin, and Diamande as that three. Diamande being the more offensively minded of those three. Then obviously using Cortez, hopefully Seema, or possibly McCausland, or another winger that's signed out wide, and then obviously the central attacking striker, someone like Danilo. Obviously been a good option there. But you know, this I think could signal, given the players we seem to be going after, not any out and out tens. I know we have a number of tens at the club in Lawrence who could be leaving, Campbell who could be leaving. You know, given the talk that there's all these tens possibly going out, but no talk of real tens coming into the club, I could see a formation change, you know, going away from the 4-2-3-1. And I think Clement perhaps last season was forced into using that 4-2-3-1, given all the injuries we had, given the fact of the player availability, the players he was left with by Michael Beale, the fact we had not got very many wingers, but we had an absolute surfeit of number 10s. Michael Beale seemed to be obsessed with buying number 10s. So I can, given what is being reported and given what is happening in terms of links, see a change of shape or formation next season for Rangers. I think it'll be interesting, you know, 4-3-3, very much matching up with Celtic, you know, giving obviously Hatate, O'Reilly if he's still here, and the other guy whose name escapes me now, but I don't actually care as a dog enters the room. You know, very much a different problem to that last year. I mean, the midfield didn't, you know, was overrun by them an awful lot. And I think, you know, that is something, giving them that solid three in the middle, maybe something that Clement wants to do, and he has in the past used a 4-3-3. He is primarily a 4-2-3-1 manager, guaranteed, but he has shown his other clubs, Bruges, Genk, and Monaco, to a lesser extent, that he does change shape, change formation. And you know, if Tarjaline was to arrive, add him into this little mix here, you've got a very, you know, good range of players to pick from in that for that midfield three. You know, something that Clement wants after all the injuries last season. Well, guys, let me know what you think of this player, and let me know what you think about the idea of changing formation to a 4-3-3. I can't see him going to a back three. I don't think that's an option. The other thing with a 4-3-3 as well is it gives the fullbacks more opportunity to bomb on, as well as obviously at least one of those three midfielders will drop back and defend as part of and form perhaps a defensive back three as those wingers go forward, as those wing backs go forward and overlap with the two wide players up top. I mean, if James Tavernier was to say, maybe this would suit him a little bit better, or, you know, Dujon Sterling switches to play right back, is more of a wing back there, more of a player that gets forward. Or maybe we go and sign someone. Hefte and Ridvan are both very good at getting forward, as is Robbie Fraser. So, you know, this could be something that Rangers are very much thinking of. Well, guys, thank you for watching. As always, guys, please obviously smash the sub, help the channel to keep on growing. We're back in the morning. We've obviously got our morning news video. Will be out tomorrow. the Russians are on the way back again. So please, obviously, sub so you don't miss out. We're also we're back in the morning with a live podcast as well, rounding up the transfer news on Friday morning. Thank you guys for watching. As always, on the way out, 2 things I ask of you. Number 1, smash the like. Number 2, remember always, we are the people.